Hey guys, so basically we're finished off the chop component of the dual cab on my Patrol. We basically have done, step one was remove the cab from the chassis. Step two was modify the chassis and put on the PSR chassis bracing kit and then the coil brace kit, and then we painted all the chassis as well. While we were doing that, we mounted the barra in the chassis and welded all that up, and then we painted the whole chassis together in one component. Then we moved on to chopping the body. So step one was basically mark it in the right spot, cut it off nice and true. I ended up cutting it an inch longer than I needed to, so that I had meat if I needed to fold an edge or something like that, which in turn I didn't actually need. I did in previous videos say the exact lengths of what I used when I done it, and then yeah, basically chopped it off clean. Started with the first mount, which is that solid one across there. Worked out where it was. I made the two side pieces work in, then stepped in with mounting the centerpiece and then the two side pieces in and squaring all that up, putting in the top piece and making it square with the bottom, and then putting in the two corner pieces for the window. Now my window turned out to be 1235 millimeters wide by 350 millimeters tall. That hole perfectly is. So I'll make that window about 5 or 6 millimeters smaller than that. So there's a bit of an air gap between the actual glass and the edge of the steel. Basically that'll allow it so that it can't get broken. We'll also obviously Sikaflex that in when it is time to put that glass in. At this point right now is probably where most people doing a dual cab chop will finish, being that it's now in final paint. We, on the other hand, are Raptor coating this car, so I put it into paint to this stage so that it was back to original. Now I'm going to rub it down. Although that's nice and fresh paint, I'm going to rub this down externally only and tape it up, and we're going to Raptor coat the external of this, make it stick and scratch proof pretty much. Beyond that, massive thanks to Ausbuilt 4x4 accessories. They have been a real great help with this. This is actually one of their kits. It's a DIY kit, and yeah, he basically has looked after me massively with this. A lot of help and support along the way. Yeah, if you want to jump on his Facebook page and have a look and go from there. But beyond that, guys, all I can say is get in and have a go. If you're going to do it, you got to really have 110% effort. Don't stop. I've been going for, I think, about 5 weeks now, since the initial stages of pulling the cab off. I had a long weekend, so I had a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Friday night, we pulled the cab off. Saturday morning, stripped the chassis down. Sunday, welded off all of the bracing on the chassis, and then Monday, prepped it and painted the chassis. Now, in those 3 days, we had engine out, new engine in, chassis bracing all done, chassis painted. We first stripped it, obviously, and then painted it. And we done not only just the chassis, I done all the diffs, and we removed all the suspension components as well. All I left was literally brake lines. I left them loose on the chassis rail. Even pulled off like all the coils and shocks and everything to paint the chassis separately. Beyond all that, guys, I have a great crew of people helping me all the time, which is absolutely amazing. I can't help to thank everyone that helps me all the time with everything I do. Obviously I can't get done what I do without everyone and everyone's help, so that's a massive shout to everyone that does help. Also, PSR with their kit. If you're going to do a dual cab chop, the PSR dual cab chop chassis bracing kit, tray mounts, and then the coil tower brace. Easy to use, easy kit, good kit. I couldn't fault it. I couldn't ask for anything better, really. The only thing I can say is get a good welder, do it properly. You will regret it if you don't. I've seen people do, gasless MIG welding with that, and it just turns out shit. We obviously use a normal MIG welder, and basically, yeah, results speak for themselves. I'll run over shortly the end result of the welds, obviously on the chassis. I'm extremely happy with them. And then obviously with this as well, we basically, that back wall is 2 or 2.5 mil steel. It is solid as once it's finished. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's just extremely solid and strong. And then that was welded into obviously the body steel. So that's from a welder that can be going and welding 3 or 5 mil plate back to 1 or 1.2 for the body steel. Yeah, you need a great welder to do a lot of this stuff. So yeah, just again, massive thanks to Justin and Osbuilt 4x4 Accessories for this rear wall DIY kit. Link in the description, by the way. But yeah, it's onwards and upwards from here. The only thing that I did do was this rear wall comes standing about yay tall. I put a 35 mil fold on the top of it and an inch fold on the bottom of it, which then kept it basically square to what it is. It folded it up. I done up along here on this inner lip. I done plug welds. I drilled a 10 mil hole, I think, and done plug welds all the way along to hold that together. And then on that dual seam, it's 5 mil thick. I found the center points of all the seats, and then I drilled holes and put in nutserts, and then obviously I tack welded those nutserts in as well for the child restraints to be able to be legal. And then obviously just welded the whole thing off, and yeah, went from there. So yeah, we're just gonna jump back into it, and I'll do a quick walk around of the rest of it.
All the same, but some things never change. I couldn't stop and say no.